Hey everyone, welcome back to the Vet Help channel. Today, we're diving into 5 common pet owner mistakes that stress your vet. Now, whether you're a brand new pet parent or you've been doing this for years, these quick insights are going to help you keep your vet, and most importantly, your pet, happy and stress-free. Let's get right into it. When you walk into the vet, you see your sick pet, but what your vet often sees is chaos. It's like they're in a constant battle against this invisible enemy of misinformation, delays, and crises that could have been avoided. Here's the crazy part. We might be unintentionally feeding that enemy. Well, hold on. This isn't about pointing fingers or making you feel guilty. Not at all. Think of this as a huge opportunity. It is about closing that little knowledge gap. So you can go from being a worried pet owner to being a prepared, proactive partner in your pet's health. You actually have the power to change the whole vibe of a vet visit for the better. Here's our game plan. We're going to see these from the vet's perspective, and then we'll break down the 5 most common mistakes owners make. The best part fixing these will not only make you your vet's favorite client, but it's going to save you time, money, and a ton of stress. Okay, let's get ourselves in your vet's shoes for a minute. These folks are under an incredible amount of pressure. One of the most heartbreaking parts of their job, seeing emergencies that they know were 100% preventable. They're not just treating animals, they're fighting against the clock. And that fight against the clock brings us to the biggest, most common mistake of all, treating your vet like an emergency on the hotline. This is that classic wait-and-see approach. And honestly, it's one of the most dangerous gambles you can take with your pet's life. I bet this timeline feels familiar, right? Day 1, it's just a tiny little cough. No big deal. Day 2, they're acting a little weird. Then bam, it's day 3. It's 4:58 p.m. on a Friday, and you're frantically calling expecting to be seen right now. Here's the secret. Pets are absolute masters at hiding their pain. That little symptom isn't the start of the problem. It's usually the grand finale of something that's been brewing for days or even weeks. And the consequences, well, they speak for themselves. That little symptom caught early might be a $50 pill. That exact same symptom left to get worse can turn into a $5,000 surgical nightmare. So what's the fix? It's simple. Document everything. Pull out your phone. Take a quick video of that weird cough and whose call. You don't have to rush in, but giving your vet that data lets them tell you if you should. This leads us right into our next 2 mistakes, and they are all about communication, or really, the lack of it. This is where things can get super confusing for your vet, really fast. The good old Dr. Google diagnosis. Come on, we've all been there. But walking in and proudly announcing, "My dog has kennel cough," based on a blog post you found, that sends your vet's stress levels through the roof. And even worse is acting on it. Giving human meds like Tylenol to a dog can cause fatal liver damage. It's just not worth the risk. Easy. Your job isn't to be the doctor. It's to be the world's best detective. Reports, just the facts. So instead of, "I think he has kidney disease," you say, "I've noticed he's drinking way more water than usual." See the difference? That gives your vet the clean, unbiased clues they need to solve the case. And I'm going to say it again. Never, ever medicate without their directive, okay? And that brings us to mistake number 3, what I like to call the secret squirrel. This is when we hold back information, usually because we think it's not important, or maybe we're a little embarrassed. But you have to remember, the vet's office is a total no-judgment zone. They need every single piece of the puzzle to see the full picture. The solution? You make a confession list. Before you go to your appointment, jot down every single thing that's changed, no matter how tiny it seems. That new fancy treat you bought, the new park you walked to, that one little grape that fell on the floor and you might have eaten. That's the stuff they need to know. What you think is irrelevant is often the one clue that cracks the whole case wide open. Okay, let's talk about the big one. The one nobody loves to talk about, money. The budget blind spot is a massive source of stress for everybody involved. And trying to avoid the conversation just makes things so much worse. Let me give it to you straight. When you say no to a diagnostic test because of the price, you're not saving money. You're forcing your vet to guess. That $200 blood test could have given an instant answer. But without it, your vet has to treat what's most likely. If they guess wrong, you're just going to be back next week with an even sicker pet and a much bigger bill. The fix is to just talk about the budget right from the start. It's not awkward, it's responsible. Ask your vet, "Hey, can we start with just the most critical test?" Ask them about payment plans. Here's the big one. Research pet insurance before you're in the middle of an emergency. Being financially prepared is just part of being a great pet owner. Alright, our final mistake. This one happens right there in the exam room. It's all about how we prepare our pet for the visit or the lack of preparation, which can make a good, thorough exam pretty much impossible. Just look at this chart. It says it all. If your pet is terrified in fighting, the vet and their team might spend 80% of the appointment just trying to safely handle him. That leaves a tiny 20% for the actual medical part. The whole thing becomes stressful, inaccurate, and honestly, pretty dramatic for your pet. But the good news is, this is totally fixable. And it starts at home. Practice what are called fear-free techniques. Get your pet used to you, touching their paws, their ears, their tail. Make their carrier a happy place with treats, not a porter to doom you know what. Don't be afraid to ask your vet about pre-visit anxiety meds. A calm pet gets a better exam, which means a faster, more accurate diagnosis. It's a wow, we have covered a lot, but you made it. In the process, you've gone from being a worried owner to really understanding how to be a proactive partner. You literally have the keys now to becoming a VIP client. Let's just reframe those 5 mistakes into 5 powerful skills. A VIP client acts early. They report facts. They confess everything. They discuss the budget. And they prepare their pet. See, these aren't just things to avoid. These are actual skills you can master. At the end of the day, just remember this. Your vet is your #1 ally in your pet's health. When you're the owner who walks in, prepared, honest, and proactive, you empower them to give the absolute best care possible. And that can make all the difference in the world. And that's a wrap. Remember, small changes in how you care for your pet can make a huge difference at the vet's office. Which of these 5 mistakes are you going to stop doing today? Drop it in the comments, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss our next video on lumpy skin disease. It is packed with tips every pet owner needs to know.